Hey guys, I'm Ginger, and I've been a Challenger League of Legends player for almost a decade. Now I've turned to coaching professionally, working currently for Movistar Koi in their Academy Talent Development in Madrid. Today I wanted to break down the opening game of MSI with G2 vs FURIA. In the interest of keeping the video brief, I'll review game 1 with a method of finding the critical errors. If you learned something new or like the video, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Let's get into it. A critical error is the most influential factor behind a specific outcome in a game. When reviewing a VOD, identifying the critical error means isolating moments or decisions that created the greatest shift in control, tempo, or win probability. Whether directly, for example losing a teamfight, or indirectly, for example a frozen wave as a consequence of the mismatch in jungle pathing. It's what caused the situation to unfold the way it did, even if it wasn't flashy or immediately obvious. The real value in reviewing any major event in League isn't just about the gold given or taken, it's about the opportunity costs. What do I lose when I'm dead? What does the enemy gain? How does this shift the dynamic of the lane or game state? Who has more tempo? Or more simply, the ability to act first? How does this affect my teammates' game individually? And lastly, how do our comps interact as the game progresses? What I want to cover in this review is why FURIA did so well into G2 in Game 1, and was it a bad day for G2, or do they have exploitable tendencies? For Game 1, let's assess the compositions. FURIA have a disengage and control composition, great at controlling zones, defensively with tools such as Talia E, Nyla ult, Rakan combo, etc. Fighting in flanks can be great for them. G2 have a more heavy dive composition, counterpick on more lanes, R5 Poppy means that bot lane is a very good lane for G2, and of course we had counterpick into blind Aatrox, no matter how that one went. Judging from this information, what does each team need to do? For G2 needs to abuse their lane strength to stack the first two dragons as soon as possible, forcing FURIA to come into them on a third dragon before their comp has super scaled up. G2 needs to farm until level 6 and with lane pressure shift between lanes to isolate and fight with numbers advantage using their no counterplay combo with the Vi ult, Ahri ult, Kai'Sa ult. So creating numbers advantage with this no counterplay combo should definitely help them get leads in this game. And they should snowball before FURIA's 5v5 gets out of control. If the game's in an even state going into 20 minutes and further, G2 are in trouble. In my opinion, this game theoretically should come down to the third dragon. G2 should have access to the first two, and the third one will be the game-deciding teamfight. For FURIA, conversely, they need to minimize losses in lane. Defensively ward and farm gold EXP for spikes. As the game continues, they get stronger. Try to get any objective. If they want to get any objective, they need to be first. With zone control, they can use their tools to punish as G2 enters, and inversely, if they try to enter late, they will get punished by G2's snap dive. This game, the composition is a bit harder to execute for G2, which is why, after we see G2's early game, it became increasingly obvious that this game was going to be a loss. Let's review some timers from the game. There's two concepts that I wanted to go through for this review. The first one is G2 being strong but unable to fight. And the second one is about vision and retaking. So let's get into it. So the first situation is at about 6 minutes and 20 seconds. G2 ends up ganking bot and killing Nyla here, which is a super impressive play, and the execution was great. Now after this, Skumon starts up the dragon, but FURIA had a very interesting pink ward and actually know that he's doing so. Now let's see what happens. Vi spends all his tempo hitting the dragon, getting it low, and FURIA's support and jungle do a great job at stealing the dragon away. So although we killed the enemy ADC, the value on getting the dragon was missed out on because they ended up stealing it. This is a great play by FURIA to recognize that they had enough tempo to sort of stand in front of the dragon and sniff, as we say, to see, well, is it possible to steal or not? Now, FURIA ends up getting the dragon, which directly goes against G2's win condition of stacking the dragons in the early game. So while no one died, FURIA slows G2's Drake time pressure and they get a free leash. Now, let's look at 7 minutes. Vi's topside after doing the dragon, and Broken Blade dies in this 1v1 scenario here. Now, what are the implications of this? Vi just hit level 6, and now is when G2 want to be active as we defined with their composition. Vi has ult now, Ahri has ult in 25 seconds, Grubs is coming up in 40 seconds. It's time to fight. And these champions are extremely strong in the 3v3. So now, not only do we lose out on value of using our potential no counterplay ult combos, but now it's very hard to contest Grubs. G2 ended up killing the Nyla on bot, and from there, the map looked pretty awful. If you look from 5:30 in-game until 8:40, look at the bot river vision from FURIA's side. So we go to blue team's perspective, we zoom out a little bit, And let's have a look. From 5:30 up until 8:40, they had great information that couldn't be cleared due to the tempo advantage. They got a kill, sunk tempo into Dragon, lost Drake, have no tempo to retake or clear the bot vision, which we can see here. They open top with Vi. Vi gets level 6. Broken Blade dies 1v1. And now we lose Grubs. Can you guys see the dysfunction? Now, onto vision and retaking. Let's go to 12 minutes. A fight breaks out around bot river. From here, what are the implications of this fight? The first one is that no one dies. G2 take the dragon, and the dragon's death is at 12:41. So we see, and the announcer says that the dragon has died. It's globally announced, and we also see that Poppy decides to stay for one extra wave here. Now, Rakan's already in base. So let's see how Furia's support Jojo plays with this information. From here, he realizes that Poppy overstayed, and he knows that Vi cannot be topside just right now. So he runs into the enemy topside and drops 3 wards with deep vision. This is fantastic. Now, from G2 sinking tempo into the dragon, we now have push top, we have push mid, we have push bot, and we have information about where the enemy jungler is. Now, as we defined for G2's comp, they want to be ulting people, one-shotting people, and playing with tempo between lanes, creating numbers advantage. Right now, they have lost access to 3 waves of push, and their jungler is completely spotted. So G2 doesn't sweep from base. You can see that when Skumond opens here, he doesn't sweep or check the pushes for wards. I think this is a huge error. None of these players are now under threat to the no counterplay combo, because we have perfect information and push in 3 lanes. Okay, let's go to 1540. G2 play aggressively on mid here, and burn some cooldowns without getting any kills. Now after that, they go towards the Herald. During this time, Aatrox is pushing bot since Ahri rotated mid for a turn to play. Once again, when G2 are doing Herald, Furia take the deep information on the other side of the map. Let's watch Jojo again. He drops 3 deep wards, and now, once again, when Skumond is retaking, like the situation before when they had full vision of him topside, when G2 invests tempo into one side of the map, getting the objective, making the play on mid, his bot side is now infected with vision. And if we look from G2's perspective, it's completely dark. Everyone's showing on lanes, and it's completely dark. Now, where's the enemy team? It's likely that they're bot side. This is very dangerous. He ends up getting punished, and he ends up dying. So disrespecting on the retake and Furia having the deep information really messed with the pace of G2's game. Once again, we have Vi ult up, we have Ahri ult up, Xin Zhao lost his ult on midwave. It's our timer to fight. Once the vision is neutral, it's our timer to fight. We have Kai'Sa's Q upgrade, we have Herald, so we could see how the map would play out if G2 Skumond didn't die. Now, Talia has no teleport, Warwick has the push, Warwick can move down to mid, and then we can shift 4 people down to bot on the next bot wave, and we can take this turret. Then what can we do? We could base, we could go back into mid, and we could use the Herald. So there's the two biggest problems to G2's gameplay this game is their vision on the retake. They didn't sweep on the retake here, and Skumond got punished here. Now, they're strong to fight and also unable to fight. Once again, when Skumond ends up being top lane and Broken Blade dies 1v1, but Skumond just got level 6, you can see that every time G2's interested and very strong to fight, no fights occurring, which benefits Furia completely. Once again, this means by Skumond dying, Furia is allowed more time to scale, and G2 lost an option to snowball. The difference in these two components implies a hugely critical error. After this teamfight loss at 1740, the game is extremely hard for G2 to win. They are behind and getting outscaled. Was it a bad angle? No. Furia's AD and mid are hitting mid turret here. It's a great timer to pull the trigger. Too bad it was too late. So, did G2 make mistakes? Yes. Did they have to execute well to win this game? Yes. Are they capable of doing so in the future games? Yes. G2 needs to be mindful of the deep vision on retake timers, naturally utilize their counter pick lanes more effectively, for example the Warwick vs Aatrox, and being ready to fight on their composition's strongest timers. Furia is a super exciting team to watch, and hopefully they can get a win vs Gam in the lower bracket. If you're interested in these types of MSI breakdowns, leave a comment below on which matchup you'd like analysis on. Join the coaching Discord in the link below if you're interested in my ADC course or individual coaching. That's all for now, guys. Ciao.